c'est Team Vitality!
Packed with winners, clutch players, and names that we know have what it takes to win.
Can do today.
Nongshim Red Force!
Consonant on their shoulders, le dernier espoir pour la Corée du Sud, c'est Nongshim Red Force.
To the quarterfinals as the last Pacific team left, carrying a region, a reset.
It's the opposite. It's Durka going, I didn't like the neon, but I'm going back to my jet now that everything is fixed. Who's right? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But an aggressive start on contact to the cam. The problem is, it was sayonara to land that first shot.
Play somewhere else on the map, but Nongshim are coming to meet them. The defense exploring mid, finding a lot of bodies there and a lot of bullets flying back in the other direction. It's going to be a 5v1. Ivy.
He's just watching. I will say, he's not really favored with a classic from this range, but maybe that won't matter too much. He's done damage, he's found info, and ultimately now will just be the cleanup in the end.
Yeah, of course, he was the one that activated the trip on A that kept Ivy over there. A trap that's, well, looking very deadly, at least for the moment. There it is, but they're a little further back. Able to hide in the corner. In goes the Hot Hands, forced out into the open. And it will be Francis to claim the double. And then
again, the time now ticking for Vitality. 25 seconds to try and make a move in. Paranoia won't catch anything. Ivy is ready and waiting for the move to be made. That time ticking further down and no trade to be had. It leaves just Prophet remaining and a stellar hold, a stellar setup.
down below. But the Hot Hands changes things. Francis is there firing from the side. But it's not just one player. It is the entire setup there. It's the fact that Danby's on short, the fact that you've got Francis and X-Ross pushed all the way down mid. They've got that utility ready to fire out on the back of it.
Use that running back earlier in the round, but the defenders are not just going to sit pretty. They've got an aggressive attempt of their own.
It's a bloodbath outside B, primed and ready for it. Danby stuck in the corner as the Hunter's Fury rings out and some damage off of it. Chronicle ends up falling as a result, but for a slower round for this defense, they have no info to fill in, and they decide to just stand here in this high-low setup. It's beautiful work for Nongshim.
Down mid.
Vitality probably assumed there that they would have put the majority of their force towards A site. Not necessarily the A site, but one of them.
They're just all sat in a crossfire around
30
that spike
seconds
as well. There's too many angles left for him to clear. We need one of them instantly. Okay, there's the first. Second with an opportunity as well. And now running for the hills is Francis. The fact is there is still time. He can cross towards that A site. It's going to be a running race, and it's one that Yumpy will be able to win, especially with the door closed. It's going to take a moment for Francis to break, and that should give him time to plant, maybe pull the gun up, but not quite enough. Francis just hot enough on his heels. A nice attempt from Yumpy.
Saw Yumpy crossing. Although here, he kind of hung his teammate out to dry. He's running away during this fight, by the way. They're having a three-man standoff, and he just legged it to market from having been right around that corner. Round, they move to this B site, looking for the fight, almost punishing that main aggression, but Nongshim, they've got the information, and they've been able to dip out. That trap could be a real problem here for Durka if he decides to go for that updraft dash out, but it looks like re-aggression is the name of the game for Nongshim, and they found one.
Yeah, and they've done. Francis is going back for more. What? He just has no fear. Around the wall he goes, and see you later, Chronicle. You might be a player with 3 trophies to your belt, but Francis doesn't give a damn. And that leaves just 2 remaining once again. 20 seconds. They've had to deal with so much of this aggression. They're getting out of this seems impossible. There's even a paranoia left at 13 seconds on the clock. There is nothing that Vitality can do about this one. And it seems like their pause may have caused a flash in the pan, but we are right back to winning ways for Nongshim.
Yeah, even saving after responses, their traps have been good. This one, though, was ridiculous. The reveal and a cloud burst, the re-aggression from Francis, the walk through the wall to shut down Kron. This has been...
He's still doing it on Sova. Bro just swinging into Chronicle like it's absolutely nothing. Well, now right back into a more standard execute. Durka trying to lead the way, but it's an immediate shutdown. Good trade from Sayonara, but again, it seems like the defenders have come out on top. Damn, even going back through the smoke alone. And leaving him completely isolated, but now he's bought time for his teammates to rotate in. Nice shot from Chronicle on the first, but Francis, it's just time being bought. That's all France is doing. He's just baiting. He's just baiting for the freest kill of Damby's career, and eventually, even on 5 HP, he'll be there to close out the round.
He throws that stun. He knows that probably hasn't hit. He knows that player is probably more than capable of taking the fight. I just don't think he cares. And that's the scary thing. For Nongshim, the traps have been working. One smoke goes up, and all of a sudden, you think Damby's gone into wine. Instead, he is looking for a pick in mid, finding it as well. Out for more, and it's a bit too much. Ooh, that has been spotted, but RB won the fight. I'm not even sure from where he was. Naturally.
At this point, then, you have to know that they could be anywhere, everywhere, all at once, and there we go, easy kill for RB. And this is the thing, you don't know what ground you've gained, you don't know what you've lost, because they have no respect for the positioning that you could have taken. Sayonara at least will be able to get one, but immediately RB is on that flank. He thought about TPing into the site. That would have been manic. Instead, though, his teammates are cleaning up the mess, leaving Yumpy again alone in a clutch. He came close earlier in the game. This time, the spike is ticking in his favor, but he's being slowly surrounded, slowly crunched in on, and needs to find a pick quickly, and he will not be able to. It's RB.
International experience, they've got some under their belt now. But they won't have played in front of a crowd like this, a crowd that's rooting for them and them alone. They heard their opponents mount the...
Sayonara have been having a rough game, especially Sayonara in their last game. Ended up with 30 kills for them to come back versus NRG. I think they might need that once again. Nonetheless, it's a good start. Chronicle with the opener. Durka definitely not shying. Well, actually, I was going to say Durka. Yeah, there's a few players not shying away from a fight. There's more defenders in middle than there are attackers. And that's something that gives an opportunity for a fight, but every fight is going just one direction. Maybe the game's not been going great for Vitality, but the Pistols certainly have.
And Nongshim were getting left behind. But things took a turn after round number 2 for Vitality. This represents the way back in.
Spike down.
The winding road grows a little less steep if they can connect this next one, especially.
That's what I'm talking about!
This is what Vitality tried to do. Their big full buy rounds where they dump their ults. There was no one home. This time it's a different story, but the Thorns waiting, the AWP firing. They slow the push. They pump the brakes. The spike still, it's in the hands of RB. They are going to the B site, but they're in danger. That spike's being dropped towards the stairs. A double invade from Vitality. Wasn't even needed as Chronicle picks up scalp after scalp.
30 seconds left.
X-Ross and Francis, a lot of work to do, and it's left to just one. As good as he's been, there is no way back into this round.
Really solid defensive hold from Chronicle there. That was one where as well, it seemed like not only did they get so tunnel visioned in on the Nongshim side, I think either 2 or 3 players got pinged twice by the reveal, which is madness that nobody shot that when it was fired over the top. So that gave all information over to the opponents, but also then when you send through the Phoenix ult, it just activate the wall. Nobody else was through on the other side, so they got staggered.
Nice,
it meant the rotation could come in.
Boys.
But then the coaching staff very quickly realized that if we're going to get ahead of this, we need to do it early. We don't want to allow this map to slip away after having such a solid half. Dear Lord. Wow, X-Ross has got a little bit unlucky with that one. A wall.
Fantastic work by Vitality early. They found 2 spams, 1 for a kill, 1 for damage, but Damby quick to try and recover. They're taking out the Vice utility, but still on site. Yumpy remains 53 HP, and they know that he's here, but not exactly where. The snake in the grass strikes for at least 1. Can he get another bite into a pound of flesh? He will! RB's caught on the retreat. Yumpy dancing with death, but every step is perfectly placed. Francis, the last man standing, 4 to take down. Yumpy's there. from the beginning until the...
And Ara to give him the freebie. The second he clears RB, the other two players are back towards the site, and he's able to isolate some more favorable duels. At that point, if RB turns around, he's trapped on the stairs and there's nowhere to go. So that molly helps him out this one immeasurably, because it gives him a place to hold onto that ground. And then, hey, even cleaning things up towards the end.
Yes, I saw.
We spoke about how this defense from Vitality has been stellar.
Not going for any aggression. You know, it's almost like Nongshim are countering themselves. Let's wait for them to push, boys. What, they're not pushing?
They've got a passive operator
30 seconds
in play
left.
as well. Dirk has sat back. Danby looking to take the space. But it does mean that re-aggression comes in. There's Durka again with that operator. He's able to just deal death from above. Still yet to be taken out, but at least one comes through. Durka with another shot already. His third kill of the round, and he's diving in for more. Durka's taken over this one. You go one side, you meet Chronicle, you go to the other side, you meet Durka, and what Prophet has to close the round, but it felt like...
Comes above all, double digits now for Vitality, a team that outside of the pistol and follow-up for the majority of the first half looked deactivated and looked like they had disappeared. Yet now rematerializing right at the finish line, right when their opponent...
Drone looking to just re-clear any of the ground that they lost, and Prophet has spotted out a player towards long. It might sell a bit of a ruse that they're still going in this direction. Instead, Hunter's Fury, and that was the already tagged up Francis. That's going to be one gone. Timing actually works out for Exros, though. He's able to clear the line, but then Yuppie just swings in and pops two heads in an instant. I don't even think he should have expected anyone to be there. Okay.
10 seconds, he'd have to go now.
Left.
Okay, that's one at least. That's the thing, the rest of the players look like they were just going to be holding for the retake. Because that spike was dropped by the Hunter's Fury, I don't even think that they, from the Vitality side, because they just went, they probably assumed they did have the spike.
Yeah.
So they don't expect him to TP.
They assumed he either has it or he's going to use his ult to take it, so...
And then rather than leaving, well, you can see what Profec's doing. He had himself a rifle. Now he's going to hide with a judge in the smoke. The entirety of the opposition waiting on the other side.
Well, there's some tickle damage from Profek, letting his presence be known. Picks up the rifle. Shot landed by Durka, clean onto RB. Paranoia couldn't be better from Profek. When they've seen Danby in the corner, left him on a sliver of health. Now it's only Ivy. 50 up against 5. And a flash coming his way. He's got to run. Dodge it to start with. A kill found, but a formality surely.
An error of cataclysmic
30 seconds left.
proportions, although Yumpy's given him 25 seconds. They all know exactly where he is. He now knows exactly where they are, but I think he could have had an educated guess of that anyway, and Durka homed in on the angle. Okay, got a little bit spicy for a second, but in the end, Vitality will get the job done. From first half that looked like a pretty worrying deficit, their defense was... And the defense already on a mass rotation back to the other side of the map, but you can see the attack have left themselves an implant. They have put Chronicle in place, but he doesn't manage to catch the rotator.
Makes sense that he'd like Raze. Reminds him of the Call of Duty days, but this is where X-Ross's duty calls to him, delivering in a big way, a double under his belt already. Sayonara and Profek left very low indeed. Okay. And a spam from RB is enough to take the ladder. Now,
30 seconds left.
Big task for Chronicle and Sio, one of which holding on for dear life, and the other's just being delivered to the afterlife. It's 1-0. Nongshim find their first round of the board. Now, it gets a bit more difficult. This time, Nongshim are fully armed, and Profek is being blindsided by RB.
To what we saw on the last map,
Bring them down.
we might be seeing a third one after all.
It's those defensive setups as well, rearing their ugly head back from Ascent. That was the problem that Vitality ran into and really struggled to crack the code up. Big fight up in heaven, at least the trade there. Now Vitality pick up the pace towards the site. They know they want to have a fight from above for at least a moment. But Francis still needs to be rooted out from that site. X-Ross's ultimate dealt with. Francis taking a tag. He's still standing his ground. He looked unfazed, but
30 seconds left.
now the showstopper should send the rest scurrying. Man advantage, possibly even off the back of it. It was Durka to deliver 3.
Good RB with the chance for a freebie. but he's looking for a little bit more. He's hoping that Sayonara never looks up, just keeping an eye on him constantly. There's the jump down. Allows him to cross towards the site. Smoke on towards the spike as well, just to create some danger that the opponents have to deal with. Already looking for the half, but he's so desperately low, and
He
Yumpy
saved the day on the Heaven fight. Onto Dambi. I mean, the second one. Oh yeah, no, the showstopper did go too far. So yeah, that wasn't at Vitality. Fill in that mid space, take it for free. Now, what do you rely on? Well, the reposition of the Marshal. A good tag. That was a collateral tag as well. Makes it much easier for the rest of the squad to finish off these kills. X-Ross straight in with a headshot. Another delivered on the Sheriff. And they're hungry for more. X-Ross! He's got 3 under his belt. 6 seconds left. The plant needs to be started now. There's no time to delay. It has to be stuck, and X-Ross has won the round alone.
at the spike just seemed to put this round into turmoil. A domino effect that forced them into the fights of this man once again, and he just was not missing. It took the final man on Vitality to take him down, and by that point, the round was already won. A huge step up as well.
Clearing out mids, nobody there. They're starting to wonder what the plan could be. Now, a player shot that reveal. I'm surprised to not see the paranoia go through. Profek moves to a safer position. He can get out now. He's no longer trapped. If Nongshim pulled the trigger on this execute, but it's all off of Francis's contact. They want these players to already be deep before the paranoia hits. But Profek, he's seen these games before, but he won't win them this time either. Vitality, they thought they dealt with the aggression after seeing one, but again,
it's the re-push that ends up catching Vitality off guard.
They're playing this game like it's Mousetrap. Every step that's taken by Vitality risks them being caught in a cage they couldn't even see moments ago. For Nongshim, the defensive side especially,
And now you look at the defense, they haven't had to use their ultimates. They have 4 ready for this round.
big pickup by Durka. It was him the majority of the time being picked off right away by that operator.
He thought about sticking that.
He did. I thought he was going to stick it as well, and I thought no one was going to see it, but I think he's avoided death with that cancellation. The Viper's Pit's going to cause issues. Getting in and planting, an impossibility without a serious fight, and before at least, those players had filled in the space. What? He's just spammed through the pit to take down RB. Now Durka's got
Viper.
the Viper, but they don't know about X-Ross! He was in that pit, hiding, waiting, biding his time! He takes that burden from his team and carries them!
In my life, I thought the moment that pit dropped, he was in trouble. It turned out that was their safety net, not being able to know where he is. That was a kindness that he was giving them. And you could see it again. Absolute insanity from X-Ross in this round, and a well-deserved half lead for the side of Nongshim. Last map, it looked like Vitality were maybe going to go into this map with a deficit. Instead, they came out with an advantage. Is it going to be the same again? They might just need another pistol, and already Dirk under serious pressure. I'll be honest, I don't know how he's alive.
He was going out for a knife kill, but it's quickly spiraled into favor for Nongshim. It's a little bit messy. Yumpy barely survives. 22 HP, a stray bullet will take him down, and they can't hold the spike under those conditions. It's time to fall back. Still a paranoia to play with for Profek. He spotted them. The retake of ramp underway. Profek fleeing to spot them. Oh, it's a messy fight. Nongshim were both ready for that. Ivy and Francis trained in on the angle, and now it's only the low HP of Yumpy.
I think they saw him.
They've definitely seen him on that peek up. Ivy was tagged earlier, but he won't be looking for the scrap anytime soon. An immediate rotate from both parties. Yumpy a little bit late.
He had to catch one on the fadeaway. No, he's been
30
spotted.
seconds left.
22 HP, would need an instant shot. He's not going to get it.
Vitality, credits all put on the line for Nongshim. They have ultimates to throw at it as well. They've looked good when it comes to the buy rounds. They've got the majority of the defenders towards the A site, which means Profek stands alone. He's isolated, but he's isolated a duel to start.
Strike down B.
Not bad. Now teammates coming to help out. The spike recovered by Danby, but he's going back in. They're not giving up on Nongshim. They know there's numbers here. They are not deterred, and perhaps they should be. RB TPing to the side, being hard, but he gets the jump on Chronicle. Looks back to Durka. He's dancing around that pillar, but has no idea that death is right above him. Durka's adjusted. He detected Ivy, I don't know how. And he's left RB all alone. The spike in Durka's possession. Yumpy at his back as well. They're now together. The high-low in play. A firing squad whose only job is to execute this omen. When he steps into their sight
30
line,
seconds left.
the smoke will cover him for now, but into the fight he goes, and out of the round. Vitality, another lifeline delivered, but many more needed.
Flipping back to the player above that turns this round on his head. It looked like for a moment that was going to slip away from them, but once they get into that 2v1, death sentence.
They're gonna flash that?
Instead, though, they seem very ready for Durka's positioning.
They were.
Danby able to bait the shot, and he's looking to try and do the same again. He's just looking to try and fight him alone. And while he's lost his life because of it, no trade to be had just yet. And cover available to help out. RB, however, has just TP'd to the other side of the map, clearly realizing that Profek had abandoned it, given that information over by Ivy. And they'll find themselves a post plant with the defense.
And now stopping the information game. Vitality going blind. They lose Profek right off rip. Sayonara's down and out as the flood in sees Vitality washed away. Durka, try as he might. It looks like he has absolutely nothing to say.
We can get a plant, and it's going to take them ages to have those rotations. And as you said, I felt like even the spam that he went for to deny that information, it's a bold play. If somebody swings him, takes him out, that's a problem. Instead, second these rounds begin, they send Danby up mid, but this was all just to try and pincer. We saw this in the last half, and now Durka's the one under pressure, but they've kind of bypassed him already. The site is firmly under their control. In the meantime, Sayonara has popped a showstopper that's achieved nothing. And although Durka managed to get a free chance of success, he's completely missed the beat. 2 players already down. Sayonara desperately low, has to flee. And with time against them, now a 6th man it seems, this is looking done.
Breeze will be map number 3. It seems like we're going all the way there. 13-7. A resounding defeat dealt to Vitality in front of the home crowd. It's like X-Raw still playing that Phoenix to carry that same fire through that they had on the previous map, and already you can see there's going to be a big battle here in mid. They found RB, but that man is not alone. X-Ross trying to bait them in so Danby can take that kill from the side, but there's the knife landing. Now the desk was talking about a bit of extra information, and they know exactly where to crunch in on. Vitality dotting their I's, crossing their T's, but losing a couple of kills for free. It's very close when Francis gets a chance like that, but now Ivy's got a 1v3.
It felt like the chance might have just faded away now that the spike can make its way to the other side. And that's going to be enough for Chronicle to close the teammate. And then for them to come into this one and look fairly comfortable in this pistol round. Of course, you always know with Nongshim, there's going to be some pressure put into the middle. Some aggression that might just disrupt a little bit.
Go.
Yeah! Into this one by the side of Nongshim. But their plan seems to be to put pressure into mid once again. And hey, Chronicle, he might have done damage to Danby, but other than that, they're all good.
Ivy's flown under the radar for a moment, but being seen in the end. Still, they end up with a pick. Fish in a barrel on the fire through RB. Putting us down to what is now a 5v2, and what in the world? Vitality have lost, and this time they are destroyed.
Look at the kills that are coming through. It's like people are cheating. What? It's not just about Valorant when it comes to them.
Standing ahead.
And for Nongshim, the last representative of Pacific, they are fighting tooth and nail, and already Ivy again surviving on the site, but the trades have been there. Alert position from RB spotted, and the B site take looking stellar.
They've made it in, and the plant's being found, but they've stepped into the operator. Danby and X-Ross wasting no time to put this back even. Something attempted, And at least for the start, it's something one. Profek,
what is he
under
doing?
pressure. I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone play this game like Danby does. And Nongshim, one man stands in their way. It's Profek to carry Vitality. Kick.
So I guess we kind of ended up balanced. I don't know if it feels that way. A 4v2 that turns into a 2v1 that turns into a guy with 2 HP hitting the last second headshot and getting rid of both Danby.
Seeing that in the mini-map.
I thought maybe it was like a corner shot.
No.
Not all the way over into
he
the
got
middle
him
of the wall.
in the bloody tunnel. They were running for their lives and it's still not enough. Now Ivy walks into his own pit. Usually you send someone else because if you die...
It's irrelevant. And now they're in the right place at the right time. A missed shot. Danby clearly is human after all, but 15 seconds left and 3 players here. Yumpy trying to pad the gap, and he's done so, but there's still another player at the backside they have to deal with, and they do. That gives them a chance with the plant, but the spike has been dropped, has to be retrieved, has to be stuck here and now. Hunter's Fury coming through, and does he get it down? No, he does not. Francis from a distance has denied the round. A perfectly timed ultimate.
And what I've inside, but not even close. Could protect you from a fisherman, not the hunter. Tracks his prey all the way to the side, and that's it there. This burst, 0.4 of it.
2 in 1 year. A much quicker start. Ultimate used immediately, looking to try and basically just flood this round with ultimates, and that's a great start.
Push out from Francis, though. He has found a gap. And that gap has given him the spike now. Nongshim on their way, flooding back into the site. As a wave comes plowing forward, they're using that as a gap. They're going to push through it themselves and look for the fight. X-Ross is shut down, and Francis trying to spur on and defend that spike. Puts us back to even territory, but for how long? With Danby still floating around, a sliver of health is all he has. A single shot, a wall bang, enough to take him out of this round, and he would have been the last man standing. He is! But he wasn't against 2 with a single point of health. Danby's up through the wall. Francis saving with the ult at the last second. It's felt like so many of these rounds have been stolen from them, and this one is taken right out of their hands.
I think the more damning thing as well is that this was the round where they go, okay, let's spam our ultimates. Let's use Vitality. Looking to try and pad the gap. And instead, they found themselves further and further behind. And their opponents are unrelenting in the force that they use, but this time they are punished. Another couple of kills coming up for Sayonara. He's trying his best. 10 already. But they now have to deal with the op in other hands.
That's the thing. It's not like we're looking at the Danby show here. 2 players spam the wall and Yumpy goes down. It's been the story of Vitality's game so far, but this wrap from Profek could be everything. He's blindsided 1. He doesn't know exactly where Francis is. And with RB holding the wrap around, that's the spike down. That's in the hands of Nongshim now. Actually disgusting. If Profek suspects this, he's looking across the stage. He can see his opponent's screen because you would never...
Crazy thing about this round is you have 2 sides of the coin. You have this with just a prediction, and then you have this from RB, where it is just all about placement. It genuinely didn't matter if he connected every single shot in that moment. Vital holder fell. The hometown hero of mates went next. BBL may be the only one left by the end of today, as Vitality have a mountain to climb, and Nongshim flying that flag of Pacific look to do it with pride. That's another opener for Danby.
Make no mistake, it's a packed house here, but it's quiet in this arena as pick after pick after pick goes to Nongshim. A sea of red as Vitality's blood spilled on the stage.
Golden Hornets have met the fly swatter of Nongshim Red Force, and they need to try and fight back, and that's the worst start they could have had. Ivy already dropping a couple. Chronicle at least able to respond with 1, but the A site is under their control, and Ivy is still just looking to hold the line. Chronicle
Spike
The man
planted.
with so many trophies to his name has given them a chance in this pistol round, and Yumpy's found one, but the response immediate, and there is no stopping.
They are now trailing, not just in the map and the series, but this half as well. A half that could be just a few rounds. And it certainly seems to be if Nongshim have their way. Hold this rotation to the A site. They wrap back to B, the flank underway from Ivy. He's got them boxed in. Ivy has this round in his hands. He's got them in his palm, and he's closing it to a fist. A three-piece for Ivy, and a death blow on a team that's already long gone.
At this rate, Ivy might have a Viper's Pit even in these last couple of rounds. 17-7, and France is there. Can be enough to relight that fire. And the Nongshim Red Force Spice seems far too much for Vitality to handle.
And this was the most if Danby starts missing, so what if X-Ross flashes himself? You're still gonna have to deal with Ivy and the rest of the... Oh, Jesus! Oh my God! Relax, Ivy!
This match, and Vitality, well, they need in Paris has come to an end, whereas the Nongshim journey looks to be beginning. A semi-final spot, all but guaranteed, as Danby looks to finish the job he started. Sayonara, the one to fall, and a 13-2 destruction, embarrassment of Vitality sends them to the semi-finals. They may be Pacific's last hope, but they might be the best hope for that Phoenix. It really just feels like everything clicks for this roster. And the second they smell weakness, the second they sense that you are afraid.
And we're gonna have to witness the Vitality key getting crushed here in their home in Paris by the Korean squad. Waving goodbye